Yo, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Yo, what's going on, man? What's going on?
All right. What's going on?
What's going on?
Let's see. Line in. Trying to see if the live is on.
Trying to see if the light is on.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I think it's on right now.
yeah. Okay, I think he's on right now.
Man, what's going on? Welcome to the live stream. You already know who I am. I'm brother. I am Makandal. Um, this live is about being yourself, being who you are. Uh, being who you are, regardless of where you at, what's going on in your life, because life itself is already, you know, something that you have to deal with by itself without even adding on extra stuff, extra people. You know, life itself already hard. So learn to be yourself, learn to be who you are, regardless of where you at in your life, because being yourself is the only thing that you can be. You cannot be anybody else. Don't be a copy. Don't try to copy anybody else. Just be you, and life will help you move forward because of who you are, not who somebody else wants you to be or who society asks you to be. Okay, so the best thing to do is being yourself, being who you are, and no matter where, no matter what, and that way life will help you, life will serve you better, because we've seen a lot of time, a lot of people not being themselves, and when that happens, they lose their self, they lose their value, they lose their minds, and you don't want to be somebody who on that other side of the spectrum, losing your mind, losing your value because you want to be somebody that people or society want you to be. So the most important thing to do is being you, regardless of what life throws at you, regardless of how things is. You gotta be yourself. You gotta become who you're meant to be. Okay, because majority of the time, and we basically live our lives by becoming what people wants us to become, because we have that in us. That's the people pleasing type of mentality. Okay, we have that in us, and when that happens, we lose ourselves. Okay, we lose ourselves because we're trying to please everybody else. We want to be, we want to appear good in the eyes of people. Okay, instead of being trying to be good in our own eyes, trying to be good for ourselves and for our lives. And majority of the time we've seen a lot of people do that. A lot of people, they become something that they can't even recognize at time, because once you lose yourself, once basically you lose yourself, you become unrecognizable, even to your own self. Even to your own self, you become unrecognizable. And to people, you will become unrecognizable as well, because people will not give you the respect that you deserve, man. No matter what, right? No matter what happens, no matter what you do, a lot of time people don't give you the respect that you deserve because you become unrecognizable to them. Okay, because you're not being yourself. Majority of the time, and I've seen that we even with me, when I was myself, I do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. People love me more, right? Once I become somebody that they want me to become, right? So I lost the me. I lost my power because I was trying to please everybody. I was trying to make sure everybody is happy. I was trying to make sure that everybody, love me, accept me. Because of that, I lost a lot of respect. Even people that is not on your level, whether it's on your level of education or on your level of consciousness, will look at you differently because you lost yourself. Okay, so the same person you was to somebody 2 days ago, once they lost respect for you, you become a totally different person in their eyes. And I had to deal with that. I had to see that. And it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't a nice thing at all. Like, to see that even the people that you wanted to be good, you wanted to be good to, or you wanted to basically you wanted to impress, are the same people that devalue you, the same people that will put you down. So you have to always be yourself. Make sure that you don't lose yourself, okay, in the process. You don't lose yourself in the process. Um, when you respect yourself, you know, people have no choice to respect you. When you value yourself, when you love yourself, people have no choice but to love you and value you and respect you. Once you lost respect for yourself, people starting losing respect for you. Okay, because that's not people's fault that they lost respect for you. It's your own fault. You know what I mean? Your own fault because you let yourself go because you want society or you want a group of people to love you, to accept you, to appreciate you. Okay, just do your thing, man. Do your thing without needed validation. Do your thing without needed somebody to see you. Do your thing regardless. You feel me? It's like working on yourself. You don't need people to see you, making a progress, for you to keep going. You got to keep going regardless. All right. Whether you see the progress or not, or whether somebody else see the progress, you still have to keep going because that's part of life. Okay. You cannot let yourself go just because some people don't want to see you or don't want to see your worth or your value, don't want to appreciate you. Regardless of how things are or how it is, you still have to value yourself, put yourself in a high level or higher stand, right? You got to put yourself there because that's how it is. Until you do that, until you learn how to do that, nobody will do that for you. Okay? Nobody will value you. Nobody will respect you until you respect yourself, until you value yourself. That's part of life. And until you do that, people will always look down on you until people see you doing whatever you gotta do for yourself. Okay, because everybody's doing whatever they gotta do for themselves. All right, so because you love somebody, because you want to be friend with somebody, doesn't mean you have to lower your guard. Okay, lose your power, give your power away, because once you give your power away, you give your respect away as well. You give your value away as well. So the best thing to do is value yourself. Okay, value yourself. Love yourself enough, and wherever you go or whoever you are around, you still have that. All right, you still have that respect. You still have that value. Because once you lose that, because you want some people to like you or to love you, I'm telling you, man, you lose it all because people going to devalue you if you don't value yourself. Okay, so the best thing to do is always value yourself. Put yourself in the heart. Look yourself in the hard regard. Okay, because you got to look out for yourself. Nobody will look out for you if you don't look out for yourself. Okay, love yourself enough. Even if somebody don't give you no love, you still feel good about yourself. Okay, even if somebody don't want to see you, that you see yourself. Okay, you see yourself, because you got to look out for you. At the end of the day, first thing, you got to look out for you. If somebody else want to contribute, that's fine. Okay, but self first, yourself first, and everybody else comes second, because that's part of life. Because I've been around people where people only looking out for themselves. Okay, where people only looking out for themselves, they're not looking out for you. Okay, for your best interest. Everybody is there for their best interest. So if you don't see that, if you don't understand that, you're going to lose yourself in the process. You're going to lose yourself by wanting to please people, to make people value you, to make people seeing you. And nobody going to see you how you see yourself. Unless you don't see value in yourself. If you don't see value in yourself, that's when you probably gonna need to see, to get validation from other people. And people will never validate you if you don't validate yourself. Okay? That's why you have to be yourself no matter what. It doesn't matter if you don't have, the career that you want yet. You don't have the job that you want yet. You're not the business owner that you want to be yet, but you still have to be yourself. Okay? You still have to be yourself. You still have to see the value in you. Okay? That's the only way that you can move forward or you can become better, is by you be yourself, improving yourself. If you want to be a business owner, you got to work on that. You got to work on your business plan, etc. You want to be a better person, be a better person by helping others, by respecting others, by being true. Because if you're not being true to yourself, you can't never be true to somebody else. If you're not real to yourself, you cannot be real to anybody else. It doesn't matter, right? So the first thing is that you gotta be real to yourself, be yourself, value yourself, respect yourself, be passionate about who you are. And then you're gonna be passionate about somebody else. You're gonna love somebody else. Because if you, even in relationship, even in partnership, friendship, if you don't have that love in you, you can't love somebody else. If you're not friendly to yourself, you cannot be friendly to somebody else. Okay? Don't try to make people like you. Okay? Don't lose yourself making people like you, wanting validation, because that you will never get, man. And once people see that you lowering your guard, you dimming your light to be loved or to be liked, people not gonna respect you. People not gonna love you. And I'm the testimony of that. Okay, I'm the testimony of that. Like, where at one point in my life, I was the type of guy who wanted to save everybody. I wanted to save everybody. I have that savior complex, right? So because I wanted to save everybody, and I tried my best to be nice to everyone, even the people that didn't deserve, the me, or being around me, or deserve to be saved. I went out my way, tried to help them, trying to save them. At the end of the day, I have to dim my light, okay? Dim my light to be loved or to be liked by a lot of these people, because I have that savior complexion. So, and I realized that caused me, my sanity. All right, that caused me my sanity, and I realized that a little bit too late, to be honest, is when people tried me a lot. People use me, uh, discard me. That's when I realized, damn, I don't let my guard down. I let my guard down. I needed validation from, people that I think that I needed in my life, that I need to be around. At the end of the day, man, you don't need to be, you can be by yourself. Be an empath. Work on yourself while you're doing that, man. You being home. You don't have to be in a crowd, you know. If you want to be around people all the time, you're gonna lose yourself, because you're gonna devalue yourself, sometimes, man, you don't need a crowd. All you need is you and God. That's all you need. And work on yourself to be better. Work on your health. Because once you have health, You can do whatever you want to do, you know. And until it's too late, you will not realize that how you have let your guard down, you have dimmed your light just to be liked by people, okay? Just to be valued by people, to be seen by people. You don't need to be seen by nobody but yourself, but God. So, but because some of us, you know, have that savior complex, you know, complex, and we want to be validate. We need validation. We want to be liked. We want to be around this crowd, that crowd, you know, and we do whatever we gotta do to be part of that group without knowing that we're losing our own self, okay, in the process. We lost our respect in the process. We lost value in that process, okay? So a lot of us don't know that and don't see that until it's too late. And that's why, you know, like I do a lot of these videos lately, because I don't want people to be like, you know, to lose themselves while in the process of being like, forget who they are in the process of wanting to be around certain people or certain group of people. Okay, a lot of us, we lost our life, or you know, our value, our respect in that process. Okay, so be yourself, be who you are, no matter what, no matter where you at in life. Don't let, you know, struggle or, you know, make you forget who you are. Don't let, you know, like don't let nobody make you forget who you are. Okay, don't let a relationship make you forget who you are. Don't let no friendship make you forget who you are, because you're going to lose your sanity, you know, later on in life, if you don't realize that you have value. Okay, you got to give yourself value before anybody else can give you value. If you don't know that, practice that. Practice self-love, self-care. You know, that's some of the most important things that we can do for ourselves, is to practice self-love and self-care, because nobody will love you how you love yourself. It doesn't matter. And if you don't love yourself enough, you don't take care of yourself, you cannot love anybody else, you cannot take care of nobody else. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is being loved by you. Do you love yourself enough to know that you don't need somebody else's love to feel good about yourself? Take care of yourself enough that you know that you don't need somebody else to take care of you. Okay, you can be part of a group, part of somebody's life, without losing yourself, without losing your respect, without dimming your light. You can do that. But you have to know that you are valued. Okay? You have to give yourself value. You have to be yourself, who you are, who God sent you here to be. Don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to be nobody else. Don't be a copy. Okay? Be you, yourself. If you don't know who you are, ask the divine. Close your eyes. Ask the divine, man, to reveal to you who you are, who you truly are. So you don't have to be somebody else. So you don't have to prove yourself to anybody but God, but the divine. Okay? We as people always trying to prove ourselves to people who don't even deserve, you know, us to be proving ourselves to them. All right. Sometimes we're trying to prove ourselves to the wrong crowd, the wrong people. And in the midst of that, we lost ourselves. You know, in the middle of doing that, we lost ourselves. And we have to learn, man, that we are valued no matter what, no matter where we at in life, you know. Sometimes even if you have a lot of money, you might not have value, you know, you might not love yourself enough. You might be a millionaire with no value, with no self-love, with no self-care. You know, you don't want that. You should be loving yourself in the process of becoming a millionaire. You should take care of yourself in the process of becoming a husband or a wife. Okay? Love yourself in the process of becoming a business owner. Because if you value yourself, Without those things, when you have those things, you'll be even more valuable. All right. Don't try to be valuable just in the eyes of people. Be valuable in your own eyes. Okay. Be comfortable in your own skin. That's the most important thing, because a lot of people is not comfortable with on their own skin. A lot of people not comfortable being alone. So because some people not comfortable being alone, they want to be around everybody. They want to be in all the parties. They want to be in all the clubs. They cannot stay a second alone to learn who they are, to talk to themselves, to value themselves, to look at themselves in the mirror. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you are enough. You are loved. You are valued. You are valuable. You are worthy. You got to tell yourself those things, because without you giving yourself those things, when you get it from somebody else, you probably will not even recognize it. Right. And if you waiting for somebody to love you to feel love, you will never feel love. If you're waiting for somebody to validate you, you will never feel valuable. Okay. The most valuable player on the team don't just become the most valuable player on the team. He already had that mentality. He or she already had that mentality. Okay. By putting in the work, by proving that, like with the work ethic, right? It's because that confidence already within you, right? You have to be confident. You have to be comfortable. You have to be valuable to yourself. And then everything else will be a bonus, right? Everything else will be a bonus. Nobody owes you loyalty. Nobody owes you love. Nobody owes you value. You owe that to yourself, right? I owe myself that love, that respect, that value, right? So because I owe myself that, I know that I owe myself that, I have to take care of myself. First of all, I have to love myself first, right? Take care of myself, love myself. And then the rest will come. Okay? So don't be that guy or that woman, that lady, that dime your light, that turn off your light just for somebody else to shine. Okay? Because the sun doesn't have to hide behind the clouds all the time, for someone else to be bright. Okay? The sun gonna shine regardless. The stars gonna come out regardless if the moon is there, and the moon gonna come out regardless if there is stars. So the brightest stars gonna always shine. So you don't have to turn off your light because somebody else want to feel comfortable, because you want somebody else to feel comfortable. At the end of the day, it's all about self. Okay. Once you dim your light for somebody to be comfortable, to feel comfortable, that's how it's gonna be. You're gonna lose yourself, your value, and in the midst of it. And people is not gonna give you the same respect or the same love they once gave you, because they seen that you can easily damn your life for them. Okay? Don't do it. Be yourself, be who you are, value yourself, be valuable. Okay? Don't forget who you are. Don't dime your light for nobody. Stay bright, stay shine. Okay? Be yourself, continue shining. And that's the only way you can live your life. Okay? Don't try to live your life for other people. Don't try to be this or be that, just because you want somebody to like you or you want somebody to love you. Don't do that. That's not going to serve you nothing. That's not going to take you anywhere. Okay? The best thing you got to do is be you, be yourself. Every day, every night, every second, every minute, and thank God, man, for who you are. Be happy for who you are. Be happy of the things that you're doing for yourself with yourself, okay? And stay shining, stay bright, be you, be yourself, all right? And I got you in the next one.